keep quiet. I want to give a context, and before that, with my every classes, I always begin with a question. So, let me pose a question. So, if you have, I'll give you a word, say torch, and then I'll give you two more words, and you have to tell me which of those two words this word very closely resembles. Okay? Those who have attended yesterday should keep quiet. Okay? So the two words are question and answer. So the word torch, what does it closely resemble to? No, only it's for yes. Answer. Okay, I think those who attend my classes would know that my questions, the answers are, at least my answers are not the expected answers. So I tend to think that actually you are coming from a set thinking. You are coming from a system where you have been told that answers are like torches. Okay, you don't understand the importance of questions, because questions are written for you by the author of the book. They are the end chapter questions, right? But the book of life, there is no author who writes end chapter questions for you. Okay? So you are the author of the book of your life, and very often it is very important to find the right question to pursue. Okay? So when you find the right question, actually questions are like torches. Without them we are groping in dark. So when you find the right question, life is a refinement of asking right questions. Okay? So to me, I think questions are the torches, because once you have the questions, then the questions are definite. Answers in matters of life can be different for each one of us, right? And that's why you have to find your own answer. But to begin with, answer to what question? That is what you have to understand. So I think questions are important. Now the theme which I want to touch upon in this poem is something, it has to do with the system of education world over. And I think what is the question that we should ask ourselves? So there are two important classes of questions that we need to ask. One class is a very personal set of questions. Okay? The other is opposed to being personal, it is actually more a universal set of questions. So what are the personal set of questions that you can ask? Who am I? What do I want out of life? How do I want to go about it? Is it worth it? Okay. And education is supposed to help you figure out answers to these questions. Unfortunately, it is falling miserably short of, because education is a system which tells you that, who are you? You are somebody who is meant to pursue computer science. Where should your life head to? You should either head to Microsoft, Google or Facebook. How you should go about it? Find the best schools, make it to BITS and IIT, okay, go to coaching centers. So everything is set for you. So there is no scope for figuring out for yourself. You have been told कि भाई पाथ चार्ट आपका तो बना, आपकी कुंडली हमने तय कर ली है, ठीक है, आप तो बस वो बोले वो किए जाओ. These are the personal set of questions. It does not even encourage you to ask. Second is a more universal set of questions, which is not even acknowledged in any academic system. Or, the universal set of questions is, what is the relation of my existence with the society? How am I impacting it? How am I getting impacted by it? And society in particular, and my context, my environment in general. Okay. Now you might think that I am talking in abstracts. Let me give you a simple example. We are living in a time, so we are all man with a child of his or her own time. Okay, so there comes a technology, and we are just blindly driven to it. So there comes internet, we just all become, we are blindly followers of internet. There is a social media, we all become drenched in the, social media. Then, there are this cell phones and all that. So we see somebody, walking with a headphone plugged in the head and driving. We all just blindly follow it, right? Whether should we really drive with headphone plugs? No. What you see in campus. So this is what I'm trying to say. There's an environment. Okay, we are blindly driven towards consumerism, materialism. It's fine. Okay, there can be several aspects to it, but what does it do to the environment? What is growth? What is development? What is GDP? What is the cost of GDP? Thus, the calculation of GDP factor in the cost that is happening to the environment. Okay, these are the questions that we don't even pose. That's my point. Okay, so with that backdrop, I present to you my poem, Maps and Dreams. Okay, am I audible to everyone? Okay. Okay, so you will have to hear between the lines. Okay. Not too long ago, I was a child. Like a stream, I ran wild, unmindful of east or west, chasing meandering curiosities. Afloat in the boat of here and now, freebies of lush meadows, of infinite azure of summer, and a splash of vermilion on the distant horizon were all goodies life promised. Too good to be true. Too good to be true it was. It all came to a grinding halt. The conveyor belt of life threw the child in the basket of boyhood, unscathed. Or so I thought. He was standing right there to guide me. From the unknown, sleepy, purposeless bylanes to the glitter of dazzling highways. It was then they sold me a dream and handed me a map. With a backpack stuffed with past and eyes on a summit I was supposed to see. With a backpack stuffed with past and eyes on a summit I was supposed to see, I was good to go. No, I was not alone. We all dotted the crowd, hoping someone must be dotting the I's and crossing the T's. Time, my friend, is a strange machine. It sucks in all kinds of animals, cats and dogs and insects and flies and whales and sharks and kangaroos, and spits them all painted same, uncannily similar in obsessions and ambitions. हर किसी को ऐसे होना चाहिए, and spits them all painted same, uncannily similar in obsessions and ambitions, willing slaves of beeping notifications. Message देखो क्या है? Willing slaves of beeping notifications, available everywhere, all the time, for anything that is anybody's fantasy, good, bad, and the weirdest. मारो सबको, काटो, lynch. On a WhatsApp message. But this, my friend, is hardly the full story. There were whales and sharks and cats and dogs, though few and far apart, who never deserted the boat of here and now. Free from the backpacks of past and from obsessions of borrowed summits, roaming empty, sleepy, unknown bylanes, they barked aloud to themselves and in time became their most beautiful selves. Your dream is where you discover yourself. Your roadmap, a journey within. Maps and dreams are your labors of love. Your carte blanche to reinvent yourself 1,000,000 times if you must. Own your dreams. Build your maps. You have